Namaste, my dear friends. In the Finance Act 2023, they said Schedule 3, point number 7, Schedule 3, point number 8, both are which are effective with retrospective manner from the day one of the appointed day under the GST. What is the appointed day of the GST? The day on which the GST has been introduced in India. Which day onwards introduced? From 1st July 2027 or 2017. Repeating, from 1st July 2017 onwards, GST has been introduced in India. That date we called as appointed date. If there is a case, from that date onwards, this particular point number 7, point number 8 of Schedule 3 is effective. Though this point number 7, point number 8 is introduced in between of the previous, namely in the year around 2019 has been introduced. In spite of that, its application is from 1st of July 2017 onwards, set by amending the provision in the Finance Act 2023, which is applicable for our coming exam of May 2024 onwards. In that case, what is this particular 7 point number 8 of Schedule 3? Point number 7 of the Schedule 3 speaks supply of goods from a place in the non-taxable territory to another place in the non-taxable territory without such goods entering into India. What do you mean this? How to understand this? I will bring to notice one example here. They said supply of goods from a place in the non-taxable territory to another place in the non-taxable territory without such goods are entering into India. Such transaction is excluded from the scope of supply, which is introduced in the recent past, but it effective from 1st July 2017 onwards. When they said in the Finance Act 2023, now only they said. But anyhow, what is this transaction? First of all, understand the transaction as follows. Presenting to you for a kind consideration with the help of example in this regard. Here, if you refer this example, my dear sir, you will be able to understand. Mr. Jumbi, a supplier registered in Hyderabad, Telangana, procures goods from China and directly supplies the same to a customer in US. With reference to the provisions of the GST law, examine whether the said activity of supply of goods by Mr. Jumbi to customer in US is taxable under the GST. If yes, determine the place of supply of the same. How to understand this? What is this is? Here, a simple terminology to say that one Mr. Jumbi from Hyderabad place the order here from China to supply the goods directly to USA client. So he placed the order here and the goods has been directly supplied from here China to USA, and Jumbi is the seller, USA is the buyer. In the given case, goods are moving from where to where? From China to USA. China is what? For us, non-taxable territory to non-taxable territory. So goods are moving from non-taxable territory to another place of non-taxable territory. In that case, Mr. Seller Jumbi want to collect the payment from USA buyer. In that case, Jumbi is made a supply of goods liable for GST. The law of the land here says that it is no GST. First of all, not supply. I can say that it is not a supply, or otherwise I can say that supply excludes. The transaction is supply excludes this transaction. If there is a case, this transaction supply excludes, no GST, not a supply. Jumbi is procured the goods from China and asked the China supplier to directly supply these goods to USA buyer. In that case, Jumbi is a seller, buyer is a USA. In the transaction of that between Jumbi and USA is a supply for Jumbi. Law says no, it did not supply. This is what the provision has been introduced in the Finance Act 2019. But what happened prior to that 2019 Finance Act, the provisions of this nature was taxed. So to avoid this transaction to tax from the Finance Act 2023 onwards, they said this type of transaction, if taken place, which is supply excluded, with effect from which date? With effect from 1st July 2017 onwards, it is effective. Now somebody asking, sir, we already paid the GST when there was this provision not there. With retrospective effect, this is supply excludes, that was not given, that is not mentioned prior to the Finance Act 2023. In that case, before this introduction of supply excludes, we made a transaction and we paid the GST. What is the fate of the GST? Whatever the GST you paid only, don't ask any refund. This is what I mentioned here by saying that there is no refund is allowed in the given case. This supply of goods from a place in non-taxable territory to another place of the non-taxable territory without such goods entering into India. See here, there is a furthermore amended provision stating that in the given case, no refund of such tax paid shall be available in cases where any such tax has already been paid in respect of such transactions or activities during the period of from 1st July, sorry to say, from 1st July 2017 to 31st January 2019, because this provision was introduced in the negative list, in this exclusion list from 1st February 2019 onwards. That time they have not said retrospective effect. In the Finance Act 2023 only they said is a retrospective effect. Now what happened in the year 2018, if you would have been made this transaction, might have been paid the GST, no refund. Furthermore, my dear friends, here referring to you, point number 8, serial number 8 of Schedule 3, which is also be supply excludes, and this has been introduced from 1st February 2019 as supply excludes. But from the Finance Act 2023 onwards, this particular point number 8 is effective with retrospective effect from 1st July 2017 onwards. What is the point number 8 in that A says? Here it says that supply of warehoused goods to any person before clearances for home consumption. Supply of goods to any person before clearances for home consumption. What do you mean this? How to understand this? Here we have a simplified example to bring to your notice by visualization. In the given case, assume a scenario. 1. Importer in India, let us say X Limited, imported goods from outside India. It came to Mumbai port. Goods has been unloaded on dock. Now, importer X Limited, in front of him, two options. He can submit the bill of entry. Namely white color bill of entry, willing to pay the duties then and there. Once the duty has been paid, obtain the out of customs clearances and clear the goods from the docks, bring to his factory. Is one way route to clear the goods after import takes place from the customs. And one more concept is there, facility is given by the Department of Customs. If the importer willing to warehouse these goods, in that case, he should submit the yellow color bill of entry. X Limited in the given example should submit yellow color bill of entry by requesting, sir, please warehouse my goods. After some time I will clear from the warehouse, that time I will pay the duty. Meaning thereby, warehouse goods means goods has been on which custom duty has been levied but yet to pay. That means duty can be deferred into future period. That means if the goods are warehoused, instead of clearing for home consumption, the importer subsequently submitting namely X bond bill of entry to clear the goods from the warehouse. That time whatever duty is available can be paid. Meaning thereby, warehouse goods means duty levied but unpaid, where the importer can defer the payment of import duty into future period is a facility. So the importer here, X Limited, opted this facility to warehouse the goods. Now the goods are warehoused. What type of goods it is? Custom duty levied but unpaid. Where the goods are available? In the warehouse. In the warehouse. Now, who is the importer? Who is the owner of the goods? X Limited. In that case, X Limited got an offer from Y Limited. Both of them in India only. Y Limited asked, hey X Limited, I want so and so quantum of goods. Big lot I required. Are you having the goods? X Limited said, sir, entire lot is available, sir. Whatever you are asking is there with me in our customs warehouse. Couple of days before I imported and warehoused the goods. Y Limited willing to buy. X Limited sold it. X Limited sold for 5 crores to Y Limited. Now is a supply. But since these goods are imported goods, before clearing for home consumption, India is my home country. Before clearing for home consumption, before clearing into India, the goods has been warehoused. During the tenure of warehousing period, if X Limited sold to Y Limited, such a supply, such a sale is not covered under the schedule, not covered under the scope of supply. It is covered under the schedule 3. Supply excludes, which is not liable for GST under the GST law. When it is introduced from 1st February 2019 onwards, supply exclude. But in the Finance Act 2023, the lawmaker said it is applicable retrospectively. Retrospectively it is applicable. Oh, very good. From 1st of July 2017 onwards, this supply excludes is applied. Okay, sir. In that case, now only you are telling it is with retrospective effect is supply excludes. But in the from 1st of July 2017 to 31st of January 2019, that time this was not there in the schedule 3. I paid the GST, sir. Can you give now that refund to me? Asking by the X Limited in the after the Finance Act 2023. Now today asking 6th February 2024, asking the refund. Department said, sorry, don't ask any refund, whatever paid only. Now please come back here. Furthermore point I am referring here. What is the meaning of giving retrospective effect, sir? Good question. Sir, there are clients who are fighting with the department why we should pay the GST. From 1st July 2017 to 31st January 2019, during that period itself, X Limited sold the goods to Y Limited. After importation, before clearing for home consumption, these warehouse goods sold to Y Limited. Department that time insisted to pay the GST. X Limited said, no, I am not going to pay GST because these goods are, how many times you want to pay GST? If you want to pay GST now, when I'm going to clear the goods from the warehouse tomorrow by submission of a sub bill of entry or ex-bond bill of entry, that time I'm liable to pay custom duty. One of the custom duty is none other than section 3, subsection 7 of the Custom Tariff Act, where it is going to be levied additional custom duty equal to our IGST. That means I am going to pay the IGST to the Department of Customs on account of clearing these goods from the warehouse. IGST I have to pay to you now on account of clearing the goods from the Department of Customs. Again to them I have to pay IGST, which is additional custom duty under section 3, so section 7 of the Custom Tariff Act. How many times you want to pay the duty of customs as well as IGST for one transaction? Therefore I won't pay. Department not accepted. Send the notice. Is it so? Replied by saying that I'm not going to pay duty twice for one transaction. Then the department passed the order, you have to pay the IGST for the given transaction. Because X Limited sold the goods to Y Limited, IGST pay. Tomorrow, Y Limited going to sell the goods to Z Limited, Y Limited liable to pay. Z Limited going to sell to A Limited, Z Limited liable to pay. A Limited tomorrow going to sell the goods to B Limited, A Limited liable to pay IGST for number of transactions taken place where the goods not cleared from the warehouse. So many times IGST you are levying, so we cannot pay. Like that, the taxpayer contradicted with the order of the department. It got a dispute. Then the what is the remedy available for the taxpayer? To go and knock the doors of the judiciary. My lord, please give the justice to me, because X sold to Y Limited, Y Limited sold to Z Limited, Z Limited sold to A Limited, A Limited sold to B Limited. From all these transactions, the particular Department of GST collecting the IGST where the goods are warehoused only before clearing for home consumption. Why they are levying so many times of GST? Like that, cases has been filed in the court of law. Some of the taxpayers, why we should go and file the case in the court will be a tedious job. Some of them are paid also tax. Some of them clients strongly oppose and file the case in the court. Now court got so much of a confusion. What is this type of a transaction you are mentioning? You should have been mentioned that time itself with a trust put effect. No, why you are not mentioned that? If you are giving the supply exclusion, later on why you are giving? Department said that time we not visualize it, sir. This type of transaction is going to come. That's why we have been incorporated in the from 1st February 2019 onwards. Supply excludes. On 1st of July 2017, we have not visualized it, sir. Okay, fine. To avoid this pathetic situation, confusion manner to implement, simply they said from Finance Act 2023 onwards, this particular import of goods which are warehoused yet to clear for home consumption. In such case, warehoused goods has been sold, imported to other person to other person, such a supply excluded from 1st July 2017 onwards. There won't be any GST. Accordingly, what happened? Those who are yet to pay the GST, those who has been filed the case in the court, automatically judgment will be in favor of the applicant not to pay. If not paid, not required to pay. If you already paid, don't expect any refund. They said refund not allowed by mentioning a particular provision here. They brought into force refund kuduka mudiyade, refund ivvabadadu, refund nahi milega. If you have been paid the amount, paid only. If not paid, case is pending, then not required to pay is the meaning of it. See, here there is issue the notification in the given case. Got the clarity? Yes. Now please come back. Furthermore, here point number B. What is the point number B? Says that supply of goods by the consignee to any other person by endorsement of documents of title to the goods after the goods have been dispatched from the port of origin located outside India, but before clearances for home consumption. What do you mean this? With one example, I am going to bring here to notice. Here it is nothing but, my dear friends, a particular cargo is exporter located in Australia. So from Australia, from the Australian port, the vessel has been departed from the port. So the goods has been departed from the exporter place, yet to be reached to the Indian port, yet to be reached Indian port in India, where the importer is, let us say, X Limited. X Limited imported this particular goods. The goods about to reach the port, which is called as, at that stage, that goods owned by X Limited, which is in the vessel itself, sold to Y Limited. It is called as high sea sale. High sea sale. That means the goods yet to reach the port are yet to clear for home consumption, but not warehouse. The point number 8A, goods has been reached the port of India and warehoused before clearing for home consumption. And that warehoused goods has been sold. Supply excludes. Now the goods yet to reach the port are yet to clear for home warehousing. Before clearing for warehousing, before clearing for home consumption, the goods departed from the exporter place and yet to be reached the Indian port or reached the Indian port, but yet to clear for home consumption, yet to clear to warehouse. In that situation, in that position, that goods which is sold by importer to another person in India, which is supply excludes. It is introduced from 1st February 2019, but in the Finance Act 2023, they said it is with retrospective effect from 1st July 2017. Now, from 1st July 2017 to 31st January 2019, if the transaction took place for which the GST already paid, no refund. If GST not paid, disputed and it went to the court, in such case, no one liable to pay GST on such particular transactions which has been taken place from 1st July 2017 onwards. If you paid, don't ask the refund. If not paid, disputable matter, still pending, now not required to pay.